much time is left? Prophecy from the Christian elder, counting down the days. Note, today the elder sent me a very small message saying, "Be careful and watch, my children. Iran, something will suddenly happen and the events will begin as I revealed them to you long ago. After Iran, it will be the turn for the Greek-Turkish." End quote. I'll find everything the elder has told us all along about Iran and the Middle East and let you know soon. Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. A. How real is the threat of nuclear war? B. How real is the threat of the world running out of water? C. How real is the threat of the entire Pacific Northwest being hit by a massive earthquake and tsunami, resulting in more than a third of the US being submerged, almost all of Canada, 50% of the UK? D. How likely is humanity to face an apocalyptic event? Question: what options do we have as of now that could really help us survive? Total planetary destruction. A. Nuclear war. There are about 14,000 nuclear weapons in the world, and 90% of them are in the hands of Russia and the United States. If they are used in a war, and nukes of China, Israel, North Korea, England, France, etc., then we'll talk for total planetary destruction. If you survive, your problems won't be over, you just got a little extension of life. B. Pandemic. We have passed the COVID-19, which was, as we say in the football, the pre-game, or otherwise a test before the new deadly global pandemic. C. Natural and man-made disasters. They come with zero warning, giving you minutes to take a life or death decision. An earthquake, natural or technical, can come in the middle of the night without warning. You may have 10 minutes to escape a tsunami. Regardless of the disaster situation, there are things you can do in advance: food, water, medicine, and store your important documents, passports, birth certificate, etc. in a bag. Whether it's a natural disaster, bioterrorist attack, or pandemic, or nuclear war, experts estimate that society as we know it will collapse within 2 weeks of a catastrophic event. Within 2 weeks, there would be massive civilian casualties, catastrophe collapses of key institutions, a massive civil unrest, food supplies, electricity, and transport infrastructure would collapse. In short, the whole world would return to the Middle Ages. Someone would say, "I'll hide and try to survive alone." Wrong, big wrong, because you're probably not going to survive like that. You have to work with other people. The more people come together, the more likely you'll be able to rebuild something like a society. You have to go to the countryside, to the villages. Cities are great when everything works, but they're deadly when there is no order, electricity, or infrastructure, and if you stay in the city, you would be more at risk. In the event of a major global disaster, we'll have to deal with the possibility that supermarkets will be looted, so you will be forced to create supplies yourself. The day after the disaster, hence on the second day, people will start to get desperate for food and water. On the third day, violence will break out, army will intervene. Civilized behavior only lasts about 3 days in the absence of reliable water, food, and electricity, and all of the things we take for granted. And in a situation where banks are closed and people can't access their money, social unrest will break out fast and wild. Don't necessarily trust the government or law enforcement. All major governments have made contingency plans to ensure their survival after a global disaster, plans including suspended constitutional government and imposing martial law, to some extent the Guardian. You'll tell me that with all this there's no way out, and that there is one last way to accept certain death, but you must be dead first. But there is something else that you've forgotten. If all else fails, the only thing left to be saved is to turn your eyes to heaven again and beg the Holy Trinity to forgive us and help us endure the trials. Prepare yourselves spiritually now so that we will have protection when the great trials begin. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.